In this module, we move beyond routine testing and simulate real attackers. Threat-led penetration testing under DORA focuses on critical functions, realistic threat scenarios, and regulator expectations. You'll see when TLPT applies, how engagements run end-to-end, and how to turn findings into durable, resilient change. Traditional penetration tests are mainly technical health checks. You agree the scope in advance, defenses know a test is coming, and you end up with a list of vulnerabilities and theoretical attack paths. Useful but limited. DORA's threat-led penetration testing is closer to a controlled cyber war game. It targets live, production-like environments, uses realistic attacker techniques, and keeps defenders unaware so their genuine reactions are tested. The aim is not just to find weaknesses, but to see how well you detect, respond, and recover when you're truly under fire. Under DORA, threat-led penetration testing is not for everyone. It's reserved for significant financial entities that supervisors explicitly designate, typically those whose failure or disruption could have a systemic impact. For those entities, TLPT becomes mandatory and recurring, at least once every 3 years. The focus is on critical or important functions only, so the scope is targeted, not blanket. If your organization is likely to be deemed significant, planning must start early, because regulators expect the first full TLPT cycle to be completed before January 17, 2028. TIBER-EU is the main European playbook for threat-led penetration testing, and it strongly influences how DORA approaches advanced resilience testing. It follows a simple life cycle. First, preparation. Define scope, understand your critical functions, assess risk, and procure suitably independent testers. Then testing. Combine high-quality threat intelligence with realistic red team exercises that mimic sophisticated attackers targeting your critical services and providers. Finally, closure. Work in a purple team mode to validate fixes, remediate weaknesses, and formally attest what you've achieved. The big idea is harmonization. Design one robust approach and reuse it consistently across entities and jurisdictions. For serious resilience exercises, you don't just let the hackers try. You structure roles so the attack and the defense are both intentional. Red team plays the adversary. Often external specialists, they copy real attacker tactics and push until they hit business-relevant impact. Blue team is your genuine defense. SOC analysts, engineers, incident responders. Crucially, they react as if it's real, not a drill. White team is the control tower. Risk and compliance oversee scope, rules of engagement, legal boundaries, and they own the kill switch. Threat intelligence ties everything together, feeding realistic scenarios and current attacker behaviors into the exercise. Before any DORA-aligned testing, you need a clear map of your attack surface. Start from your critical or important functions: payments, trading, customer channels. For each one, trace which applications, databases, networks, and teams support it. Then extend that view into cloud services and critical ICT third-party providers. Use your risk assessment and business impact analysis as inputs, so you focus on what truly matters. And remember, if a critical function depends on a cloud service or external provider, they are in scope for the test as well. When we talk about intelligence-led scenarios, we're really talking about turning raw threat intel into a story the testers can act out. You begin with targeted threat intelligence reports that describe real attackers, their tools, and how they've gone after financial institutions before. From there, you pick 1 or 2 representative adversaries and map their typical kill chain to your own critical services. Generic threat landscape reports then help you validate that the scenario is relevant to your geography, technology stack, and business model. The outcome should be a small set of realistic attacks that could genuinely disrupt your organization. Active red teaming simulates a determined attacker working quietly inside your real environment over weeks, not hours. It usually starts with reconnaissance, gathering open-source intelligence and testing people through social engineering to find a way in. Next is intrusion, using phishing or other exploits to gain that first foothold. Then comes lateral movement, pivoting from one compromised system to another until critical functions are reached. Finally, action on objectives, demonstrating access to the flag, for example, sensitive data or key payment systems, while a separate safety team is ready to stop the test instantly. In threat-led testing under DORA, You're deliberately creating controlled chaos. You want realistic disruption, but without losing operational stability. Three mechanisms make this possible. First, a clear kill switch. Someone has explicit authority to stop the test the moment real-world risk becomes unacceptable. Second, pre-agreed leg-ups. The white team can quietly help testers pass non-critical obstacles, so time is spent probing truly important functions. Third, continuous monitoring and deconfliction. Operations, security, and testers coordinate in real time so everyone knows what's part of the exercise and what might be a genuine incident. In realistic cyber exercises, the blue team usually isn't warned. That surprise is intentional. It tests genuine muscle memory, not scripted behavior. What counts is how fast they detect the attack, how quickly they escalate, and how well they coordinate the response. Success isn't no incidents. Success is absorbing the blow, containing it, recovering services, and proving that people, processes, and technology actually work together under pressure. Purple teaming is where DORA-style resilience work becomes truly practical. To run it well, schedule replay sessions after red team or TLPT exercises. The red team walks the blue team through each attack step, showing what they did, when, and what evidence existed. The key dialogue is, "I did this. You didn't see it. Why?" Together you tune detections, playbooks, and logging. Capture everything in a joint technical report: gaps, quick wins, owners, and deadlines. That document becomes your remediation driver and audit evidence. Once testing or an incident reveals weaknesses, the real value comes from how you act on them. Start with a remediation plan that is time-bound, clearly owned, and prioritized by severity and business impact. Then perform a root cause analysis. Was this a one-off patching failure or a deeper governance or architectural issue? That determines lasting fixes. Document attestation that tests followed agreed standards. Finally, package findings, remediation commitments, and residual risks into a report suitable for boards and for competent authorities under DORA. When you choose providers for threat-led penetration testing under DORA, treat them like elite mercenaries. They need proven professional standards, not just good marketing. Look for recognizable certifications and membership in accredited schemes, and verify how they enforce ethical conduct. Check that they carry appropriate professional indemnity insurance. Your supervisors will expect that. Independence is crucial. Testing should normally be done by external teams that have no stake in the systems they attack. Internal red teams are possible only in tightly defined, exceptional cases and must still demonstrate objectivity. Think of a DORA implementation or TLPT-style resilience campaign as a year-long journey. First, you secure budget, select external partners, and agree the scope of systems and critical functions. Next, you gather threat intelligence tailored to your business model, so tests simulate realistic attackers. Then comes active red teaming, controlled attacks that probe people, processes, and technology end-to-end. Finally, you focus on closure, validating fixes, updating documentation, and feeding lessons into governance. Because each phase depends on the previous one, you should begin planning at least 18 months before any hard regulatory deadline. DORA is about hard training so real incidents become easier fights. It pushes you beyond policies and slideware into evidence, testing, and repeatable practice. Threat-led testing, robust governance, and realistic scenarios prove that security on paper matches security in production. Use DORA as leverage. Build confidence, expose weaknesses early, and show your organization can stay in the fight, not just pass an inspection.